Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to learn how to crochet this granny square. It's a very simple pattern friendly for beginners. We need stitch marker, scissors, and a needle, and I'm going to be using a 4mm crochet hook. You can use a recommended hook for your yarn, and I'll be using red heart in this color. You can use any 4 medium weight yarn of your choice. It's a 4 medium, this one, and it's recommended for 5.5. I'm using 4mm. Alright, this is a very simple pattern. We are going to do it. It's very easy to do. And I want to say, if you find this tutorial useful, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So go ahead and make a slip knot, and then you will chain 4. When you finish chaining 4, you're going to make a slip stitch to form a ring at the beginning of your chain, and then chain 3. Now chain 3 counts as a double crochet throughout our work, and after you finish chaining 3, go ahead and walk into that space, make a double crochet into that space for round 1, and then you will chain 1. You will do it about 5 times in this ring, double crochet, and you make another double crochet, and then put a stitch marker at the top of your chain 3 so that you will know where you will end your work for round 1. Yarn over, make another double crochet into that space, chain 1, yarn over, make a double crochet, and then you will make sure you walk over your tail of yarn that you have as you are working for round 1. So for this round, you will put 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, chain 1 into that ring. We are going to do it for 6 times. As you go, there is no space. You can pull those stitches you already work, pull them out so that you have space to work the rest of the stitches. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a chain 1 in between each 2 double crochet that you just make. And when you finish chain 1, you're going to make a slip stitch where our stitch marker is coming from, at the top of our chain 3. Sorry for any background noise. And when you finish, go straight into your chain 1 space, make a slip stitch. Your 2 slip stitches does not count as a stitch. We just did this to get at the center of our chain 1 space so that we are to start round 2. So chain 3 counts as a double crochet, and then into that same space you're going to make a double crochet there and there. And then you will chain 1, put your stitch marker at the top of your chain 3 so that you will know where you will end. And then when you chain 1, yarn over, make a double crochet into that same space, yarn over, make a double crochet into that same space. So now we have 2 double crochet into the same space, chain 1, 2 double crochet into that same space. So this is what we are going to do for round 2. Skip those 2 stitches, and then into your chain 1 space, make double crochet, yarn over, double crochet, chain 1, and then into that same space, make 2 more double crochets. This is the repeat for round 2. So we are going to make shell into every chain 1 space we have for round 1. This is the repeat for round 2. When you put your 2 double crochets, don't forget to chain 1. And then the last one is this one. Skip those 2 stitches. We have a chain 1 in between. Go ahead and make a shell in there. So this is how round 2 is looking like. We still have 6, but it's just that we make additional for round 2. So go ahead and make a slip stitch into the top of our chain 3. Your slip stitch does not count as a stitch, and then make a slip stitch at the center of our chain 1. So skip that stitch, and then into this chain 1 space make a slip stitch. So now to start round 3, we are going to chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and then you are going to make 6 more double crochet into that space. We should have a total of 7. When you have 7 double crochet, go into the next chain 1 space, skip those 2 stitches next to you, and then the next 2 stitches, and then into our chain 1 space make a shell. Make 7 double crochet into that chain 1 space. So this is the repeat for this round. You're going to skip those 2 stitches, skip another 2 stitches, make shell into our chain 1 space, and then into every chain 1 space make sure you put 7 double crochet into every chain 1 space. So this is how round 3 is looking like after putting shells into every stitch. Make sure you don't make a mistake by skipping 1 stitch, so that you will be able to get the work correct. You always make a slip stitch at the top of your chain 3. Your slip stitch does not count as a stitch. So now we are going to start round 4. You're going to chain 1 into that same stitch where our slip stitch is coming from. Make a single crochet, and then put your stitch marker in there, and then to the next stitch close to you there is a stitch in there. Don't skip it. Go into that stitch and then make a single crochet going onto both loops. Now we have 7 single crochet into every shell that we make, so you should have 7 single crochets. We have 7 double crochets with the shells that we make for the previous round 3 that we make. So I have 7 here, as you can see. So now we are going to make an additional of 1 stitch. We are going to make a spike double crochet. We are going underneath our round 2 at this space. So yarn over, make sure you don't pull your yarn too tight, make it loose a little bit. Go into that space, and then you are going to pull up a yarn from the back and then pull it outside, pull it up a little bit, don't make it tight, and then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have a spike double crochet, and then next to it there is a stitch. Make sure you don't skip it. You are going to make a single crochet. So for this shell you are going to have 7 single crochets into every stitch that you have here until you reach the next space, and I'll meet you back there. And now we're going to make another spike double crochet. you will yarn over, go at the center of the round 2, pull up a yarn, and then pull it up a little bit, and then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then after that there is a stitch next to you. Make sure you don't skip it. So we should have 6 of these spike double crochet, so make sure you have it correctly. So next to you there is a stitch. Go ahead and make a single crochet in there. So this is the repeat for round 4. Make sure you don't skip a stitch, because if you skip a stitch, your next round will not be correct. Repeat this until you reach at the end of your round 4, and I'll meet you back. Alright, this is the end of my round 4, and I have all like this. This is how it's looking like round 4. And when you reach at the last side of your work, you're going to make your last spike stitch. Skip those 2 stitches. In between there is a chain 1 space from our previous round 3, and then make your spike double crochet. So you're going to make a slip stitch from where your stitch marker is coming from. Slip stitch does not count as a stitch. So into that stitch where our stitch marker is coming from, make a single crochet and then put your stitch marker. And then you're going to make single crochet into every stitch until you reach your spike double crochet, and I'll meet you back there. So we're going to start making our corner. When you reach your spike stitch, we are going to make double crochet in there, and then you will chain 2, yarn over, and then you're going to make another double crochet into that space. So now our first corner is made, and then you're going to make single crochet into the next stitch, and then single crochet into the top of the next shell next to you until you reach the next shell, and I'll meet you back there to make the second corner of our granny square. Alright, when you reach at this next shell, we have 7 double crochets. You are going to make single crochet into 3 double crochets. And then you're going to make corner into the center of the next stitch, just like what we did for the first corner. You're going to double crochet, chain 2, and then double crochet at the center. And then when you finish making your second corner into the next stitch, make single crochet over the next stitch, and then next stitch, single crochet into every stitch to the top of this shell until you reach your next spike stitch, and I'll meet you back at the end just to do the third corner. Well, when we reach at this next spike double crochet, you're going to make the third corner, double crochet, chain 2, and then double crochet into that same stitch. So as you can see, the first corner lies on a spike double crochet, and our third corner is lying on a spike double crochet. So our fourth corner is going to lie on this shell, so they are going to line up like this. So now you're going to work until you work on top of this next shell, make single crochet at the top of this shell until you reach the next shell, and then we are going to make our last corner. So I can make a mistake here, I have to go back. Alright, when you reach the next shell, make 3 single crochet into your 3 double crochet at the top of your single crochet, and when you reach at the center, make your last corner. 1 double crochet, chain 2, and then 1 double crochet, and then make single crochet into the next stitches until you reach at the end. This is our last stitch, our spike. Go ahead and make single crochet. So this is how it looks like. We have 4 corners, 2 shells have 2 corners, and then 2 spike double crochet have 2 corners. So now when you reach at the end, at the top of your single crochet, the beginning stitch, go ahead and make a slip stitch. Now to start this round, you're going to chain 1, and then into that same stitch make a single crochet, put your stitch marker, and we are going to make another 3 more of single crochet, so we should have a total of 4. We are going to complete this later before we end this round. So now you have 4 stitches in front of you. Yarn over, make double crochet into every stitch that you have until you reach your corner. You should have 4 double crochets. So I have 4 double crochets here, and then I'll yarn over. I'm going to make 2 double crochet at the center of my corner. You will chain 3, and then you are going to make 2 more double crochets into that corner. And when you finish, there is a stitch next to you. Make sure you don't skip it. So pull up those stitches so that you're able to work on it. You're going to make a double crochet. So you're going to make 4 double crochet here. Into every stitch you put 1 double crochet, just like what we have here. So yarn over into the next stitch, make double crochet, and then into the next stitch you will make double crochet, and then you make double crochet into the next stitch. So we have 4 double crochets. So when you reach your corner, after finish making your corner, you're going to make 4 double crochet, and then after that you are going to make 5 single crochets. Work into every stitch 1 stitch, 3, 4, and 5, and then next to you will have 4 stitches. You're going to work double crochet into every 4 stitch that you have, and when you reach your corner you put 2 double crochets, chain 3, and then 2 double crochets into that same corner, and then after that work 4 double crochet into the next 4 stitches, and then 5 single crochets into the next 5 stitches. So this is what we are going to repeat for this round. So go ahead and make your corner, 2 double crochets, chain 3, and then 2 double crochets into that same corner. So when you finish making your corner, please don't forget to walk into the stitch next to you, next to your corner. Don't skip it. So now you are going to make 4 double crochets into 4 stitches, and then after that you are going to make 5 single crochets, and after finish making 5 single crochets, you are going to have 4 stitches before you reach your corner space, and then you put 4 double crochets into those stitches. So repeat this pattern until you reach at the end, and I'll meet you back there to finish this round. Alright, when I reach at the last side of our work, I finish putting my 4 double crochets after my corner. I have 1 stitches, so I'm going to complete these 4 stitches single crochets that I make for this first round, for the first stitches that I make for this round, because we should have 5 single crochets into every side of our work. So since I start with 4 single crochets, so my last stitch I'm going to make single crochet into that last stitch, so that my work will complete. And then when you finish, you're going to make slip stitch where your stitch marker is coming from. So this is how our round is looking like. So now to start this last round, you're going to chain 3, and then chain 3 counts as double crochet, so which means you're going to skip this stitch, and then to the next stitch you're going to make double crochet. So you're going to work double crochets into every stitch until you reach your corner, and when you reach your corner you will put 2 double crochets, chain 3, and then 2 double crochets into that same corner, and then you work double crochets into every stitch until you reach your next corner, and you're going to repeat this until you reach at the starting point of our work. Make sure you don't skip the stitch next to you. Put double crochet into that stitch. So now this is what we are going to do until you reach at the beginning where you start this round. Alright, I'm at the end of my work. I have 1 stitch remain. I'm going to make a double crochet into that last stitch, and then you are going to make a slip stitch at the top of your chain 3, and then you will chain 1 and then cut off the yarn. So this is the end of our granny square. Alright, so we're going to weave in the ends of our yarn. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. So take your darning needle, and then the yarn, put the yarn into your darning needle. This is the right side, the one that is facing us, and this is the wrong side of our work. So we're going to weave in the ends of our yarn the wrong side of our granny square. So where my slip stitch is coming from, I will go in there with my darning needle and look for a loop to pass my yarn, and I'll pull it tight a little bit, and I'll go into every loops that I have with the double crochets that I just make. I'll go at the top of every double crochets that I have at the back side of my granny square. So I'm just taking the 2 loops at the top of the stitches. Make sure it will not show at the right side of your granny square. So pull your yarn through this side, and then I'm going to skip 1 loop, and I will do the same thing I just did. I'll pull the yarn through, and then I'll cut off the yarn, and I'm going to repeat it at the bottom where I start working my granny square. This is how it looks like so far. So pull that yarn, pull it through before you weave it, and pull it through a little bit, so tighten it, and I'll just hide this one inside these loops that you've seen from the beginning of my granny square. So I'll go at the top of each loops that I have, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, leave your comments, and then you can hit the notification button, so anytime I upload a video you will be notified. And I hope to see you back in the next video. So I'm already making like more granny squares with this same pattern, because I'm planning to make something with these squares. So I'm going to make a lot of it, and this is the end of our work. Thank you, and I will see you back in the next video. Bye bye.